Welcome to my video I'm going to bring for you tonight. I am Hawkeye. This is Maple Leafs Man Advantage. And I'm going to talk about a couple of trades that the Leafs made during the 1974-75 season. Take a look at both of these trades and the players and give my input if they should have made these trades or not, or if I will do the same if I'm running the Toronto Maple Leafs at the time. So first off, super early into the season, it was October the 16th, 1974. The Toronto Maple Leafs worked out a deal with the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks received defenseman John Grisdale and left winger Gary Monahan, while the Leafs received rough and tumble defenseman Dave Dunn. Yeah, we'll take a look at this deal. So first on Vancouver's side of the trade, John had played 51 games with the Leafs. He had scored one goal with 7 assists for 8 points and had 80 penalty minutes. He would go on to play 5 seasons in Vancouver, playing 199 games, scoring 3 goals, adding 32 assists for 35 points, and also garnering 266 penalties. Now, the other guy, Gary Monahan, as I've stated in other videos, he was a number 1 draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens back in the very first draft in 1963. So he was actually the very first player ever drafted. Up to this point, he had played 399 games in the NHL, having scored 54 goals, adding 80 assists for 134 points. He would go on to play another 349 games. He'd even return back to Toronto as well. He scored 62 more goals with 89 assists for 151 points. So combining both Grisdale and Monahan together, you get 548 games, 65 goals, 121 assists for 186 points. And Grisdale looked like he may have a bit of a physical side to him as well. He wasn't afraid to get penalty minutes as well. So now coming to Toronto was Dave Dunn. I'd heard of this guy. He was big, he was rough, he was tough. Big at that time, 6'2", still big in my opinion. But he was a rough and tough defenseman. The previous, no, so at the time of the trade, he had played 69 games, just won this season, 68 the previous season. I think for the Leafs as well, this was just after one game. Super early in the season, as I said. But Dunn did put up some offensive numbers for the previous season. He had 11 goals and 22 assists for 33 points. And he had 87 penalty minutes as well. After this trade, Dave would play 115 games for Toronto, scoring 3 goals with 19 assists for 22 points and getting 226 penalty minutes. Now, for the 1976-77 season, Dave jumped over to the WHA. Another Leaf going over to the WHA. And he played with the Winnipeg Jets for a couple of seasons. He played 106 games there, scoring 9 goals with 31 assists for 40 points. He also had 208 penalty minutes, and he won the Avco Cup in 1978 with the Jets. And then that was it for Dave. So with this trade, I'm going to say no. Don't do it, Toronto. If you really need another defenseman, keep looking out there. Or just stay with what you got. There's another trade coming. I'm going to get to that in a second with another defenseman. But the Leafs didn't get, I think, what they were looking for, perhaps. Um, Certainly, Dave wasn't there long. I think only 2 seasons in Toronto before jetting off, pun intended, for the WHA. And Vancouver ends up getting a winger that puts, all right numbers up, gets in the teens and goals for you, and a defenseman who's going to play with you for 5 seasons, who looks like he adds a little muscle to the back end as well. So I would keep these guys, and as I said, look elsewhere for a defenseman. And certainly for myself, I don't have either of these players. I just traded Grisdale, and yeah, I'm going to go with that instead. Um, so a little down the road from this point, November the 2nd, 1974, the Toronto Maple Leafs worked out a deal with another team. It was the Washington Capitals, who were not very good, but they worked out a deal here. So the Caps received left winger Tim Ecclestone and defenseman Willie Brozart, while the Leafs received defenseman Rod Seiling. Ooh. He started his career with the Leafs before being traded many moons ago to the New York Rangers. And excuse me, if I'm not mistaken, he was involved in the trade to get Andy Bathgate to Toronto. There you have it. So, yeah, Toronto does need to improve their defense. So let's take a closer look at this trade. So going to Washington, we have Tim Ecclestone. He had played 472 games in the NHL, scoring 98 goals with 171 assists for 269 points. He would go on to play four more seasons and play 220 games, adding 28 goals and 62 assists for 90 points. Willie Brozart had played 68 games in the NHL and he had six assists. Wasn't a big offensive threat, really. He would go on to play two seasons for the Capitals and play 61 games, scoring a goal with eight assists for 9 points. Combining the two, if you want to do that, I did that here. That's 281 games, 29 goals, 70 assists for 99 points. So let's look, excuse me, and see who's coming to Toronto. That's Rod Seiling. He had the nickname Sod. He was a combination of the first and last name. Um, I would certainly say he is the best player in this trade, and to some people, that therefore means you're going to win the trade. But we'll take a look here. He had played 646 games on defense in the NHL. He had scored 50 goals and had 199 assists for 249 points. He will go on to play another 333 games in the NHL, scoring 12 goals with 70 assists for 82 points. So for Toronto, I give this baby the green light. Go for it. Trade these guys. Um, get Seiling to Toronto. And I don't know. I'm not going to really take a look into this. Maybe this leaves a spot for Monahan to play or someone else. But for my own team, I look at my defense. I made some corrections here to my team. Um, and I'm going to make the same trade, even though I don't have both these players. But what I will do, I'm going to go back over those trades in a second here. I'm going to keep Ecclestone and just for this trade, and then I'm going to trade him off. I'm going to have for Washington, give you Ecclestone, and I'm going to give you even a better defenseman here. I'm going to give you Rick Wilson. So Wilson and Ecclestone to Washington for Rod Seiling. I'm kind of giving away a lot in some of these trades. So this will be my team. I'm not sure if that'll be the pairing of the defense for, but I just slipped Seiling in there into the bottom spot. Maybe I'd play him up with Russell, but then you'd have two rookies together. So maybe that's it. But anyways, that is my Toronto Maple Leafs if I was running the team 1974-75. But anyways, that's the video. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate it. If you hit like, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. That'd be awesome as well. And if you want to comment, go ahead and do so. Talk some hockey. If there's anything you want to talk about any of these players, they were before my time. That is for certain. But anyways, the next video I might get into the playoffs, 1975 playoffs with the Leafs. They're in there. They're getting in there. So until next time, enjoy your playoff hockey if you're watching it, and go Leafs go.